Hello, welcome back to Otter Pop Culture, and today we're going to be going over the final 10th episode of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 4, and this title of this episode is Super Queen Grand Finale. Now, this has been a thing that we've all been waiting for. We're all excited to see it. It's interesting because the thing is we do not have Manila, unfortunately. We have Monet, we have Trixie, we have Naomi, and we have Monique. So, which you think about it, it's still a good group. Like, I was kind of happy that everything went back on track after the weird trip over Latrice in Manila. I'm glad that we're back on track with what we've all saw. I'll speak for myself. What I saw as the top four, like maybe even taking out, if I was really adding in Manila, maybe even taking out maybe Naomi or Monique. But honestly, they were really good. This was deserved from what it was. So I actually like the fact that it's these four. This is actually good. So starting off in this type of thing, everybody was excited to be the top four, and as we've seen, this is where it gets kind of weird. In each All-Stars, it always gets weird at the finale. Like, either the friends come in, the other eliminated queens come in, and they get to choose who their favorite is, and that becomes the winner from last year or the year before, where it got very weird with the Alaska saying that she'll pay somebody X amount of money if she can just stay in the competition, and then she ended up winning, which is kind of awkward. And then the first one, when it had Chad Michaels who won, which was kind of interesting because we saw that she was a really good competitor in her season, but it seemed like we did these All-Stars just to have her win, just to give her win. So far, the All-Stars hasn't had a great rep. So it's interesting to see what they're going to do, and I was very nervous to see what's happening, but it actually turned out way better than it could have been, you know? So starting off, we had the whole thing where they had to go through a song, they had to do a choreo to Super Queen, and as well as writing their own verses, we got to skip past that, which is interesting. It would be great to actually see what brought them to kind of do it, but I understand they were crunching on time. The choreography went well. It seemed like everybody pretty much had it down except for Monique. Well, actually, kind of Monique. She didn't have her cartwheels down, and Trinity wasn't really confident in herself when it came to the dancing, which is another kind of I like to call the aquarium moment, when they make it seem like she's doing a shitty job, but then when everything's revealed at the end, she's amazing. So it's just what was all this for, you know? So they had to do that, and so Monique had her issues with the cartwheels, and meanwhile, Monet and Naomi are just fucking killing it. Every fucking thing that they're doing, killing it. Even though Naomi was talking to her little dance partner, so apparently they knew each other, maybe they hooked up or something, we don't really know, or known each other for a long time. So that happened, and this is kind of the whole thing was very uneventful. It seemed like they were kind of getting you to a point without kind of giving you what was going on, other than the little dinner special, which is that they got back to doing that, where they sat down and where RuPaul sat down and talked to all the queens and everything, and what they want to do with the win, or how bad that they want it, so that, so you can kind of get a real idea of who's actually into it. So then we have the Super Queen choreo, the performance, which I honestly, watching it, I kind of just glazed over. Other than Monet and Trixie or Trinity, I felt like it was kind of I felt like the other two did a good job, but it was just it was kind of bland. Everything was so. I think the issue was everything was so quickly. It moved so quickly. They didn't have really time to They didn't really give you much of any depth to how everything was going. So you didn't really feel like you really were involved. You know, it kind of was just like, here's a moment, here's a moment, here's a moment, here's a moment, performance, 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 final thing, you know, then we choose. And I wish it kind of went slower into understanding what was going on, or at least got more, like, gave us more like inside perspective of what's going on in their heads. Like, for example, when Aquaria, when she was at the end, she was doing her dance, like, she was watching her doing her choreo, and she was sitting down and aside, and she realized, like, she's like, oh my god, I'm here. Like, I'm top 3. Like, I'm actually here. And it kind of just, like, had her fill up in emotion, and she just, like, it just all hit her at once. And that was really cool. It was really beautiful to see. It kind of made it kind of seen a human side of her. Well, not that she didn't have one, but it was the most vulnerable she's ever been in the competition. So just, like, that kind of moments were kind of missed, you know, other than, like, the confessional room where they were talking. It still didn't really give you any kind of, like, not intense emotion, any type of, like, inside perspective of how they're going. The Super Queen, actually, the music, it seemed like it was slowed down or had some type of mid-tempo going on. Like, there wasn't the same tempo that it usually is, but it went well. I didn't really care for Monique's look. It was it was like a black dress with a black shawl kind of thing going on, which was cute in the idea of it, but it was compared to Monet, who's coming out with this beautiful, like, superhero look, and she was fucking killing the choreography. And then we have Monique, and comes out and is just like this black witchy kind of look. And it's just like, it's hard to see your dance. It's hard to see your arm movements, and it's hard to see if you actually are doing, or if you even, like, we can't see your choreo if you're all in black, and you're moving around with your shot and can't really see your hands or arms or legs to see if you're doing anything of the choreo. Trinity did a great job. She, once again, made you seem like it wasn't going to go well, and it went great. Naomi had a bit of a weird situation because she was the bridge of the song. So it obviously was like, the most bridges don't really have much lyrics, and so, or has repetitive stuff. So that's pretty much what she got. And I felt like it was kind of a cheat, but at the same time, I was kind of happy because it made me feel like it was almost over. I felt like the Super Queen was like the Super Queen performance felt like one of the longest performances I've seen, and all of the All-Stars, maybe all of RuPaul, I don't know, everything just felt felt very repetitive, and very just like everybody got a long verse, you know, and it just, like, I don't know, it just felt like it went on and on and on. So let's talk about the thing that we're here for, which is the fact that Monique, and I'm just going to keep confusing these. There's a lot of very unique names in this type of row. So Latrice, Monet and Trinity ended up being the last people to stand, like the top 2, taking away Naomi and Monique, which made a lot of sense. Like, Naomi only had one win, even though she was my favorite, but that was pretty much it. And then Monique she was good. It's just that when you see her, you don't really think she was going to be a winner. But at the same time, I was kind of just like, she's actually climbing that ladder. She might be the winner, that, like, the dark horse that surprises us all, which is I was waiting for. But alas, it didn't happen, which was, honestly, I was expecting. I was kind of like, that sounds about right. So we have Monet, and we have Trixie, I'm just keep saying this, Trinity, who did a great job. They did an amazing job in their lip sync. I felt like Trinity was giving you a lot of passion, a lot of just like laying on the ground and just getting a lip sync really well. Then you have Monet, who was doing her shtick that she usually does, is kind of like the funny yet the, like, poised kind of stance as she walks across the stage and everything. It's very kind of just like she has her poise together, you know. So, but I felt like in the end of it, even after that weird that pussycat wig that revealed to another pussycat wig, which I thought was super funny, and the splits, I honestly felt like she won the lip sync. But I also understand that we're going down to how we're doing it from the beginning on, which is pretty much were doing a great job. Trinity was doing a little more, but we still have Monet was still keeping up, you know? So, in the end of it, which is, I didn't like this part, so we go to the part and she reveals who wins, and it ends up being, it goes like this. So, congratulations, you guys are both the winners. That's it. And then they did a weird split screen where Monet is having the staff, and then Trinity had the staff, and they're kind of walking up and down and then the crown wasn't really anywhere, and it's just like it made no sense because it made me feel like, well, talking with some friends, I kind of figured out that they had everybody kind of get their gear up to what would you do if you won? Like if we're filming your win, we're filming your win, and we're filming your win, you know. But I feel like that's kind of I feel like it's a stupid thing. Like we know that they both won, so why aren't we just having the camera roll of them reacting to them winning instead of us seeing a false filming of them winning? It's just like, sure, they won, but they don't know they won this. They don't have the real reaction of winning, you know? Whereas if they actually kept it going and filming with the reaction of, because they're both winners, they would have had a much better reaction, and we could have seen what happened. We could have seen what they did with the splitting the two together, you know? And it's just like, it was just kind of weird. But congratulations to Monet and congratulations to Trinity. I think that they did a great job, well-deserved win. I was actually hoping that Monet would kind of win, because deep down, I kind of wanted to see the thing, and this is slightly my conspiracy theory, is that we had three blonde white queens who won, and so there was a pattern, and so in this one there's people that called out and it's like, I don't really want it to be another blonde white queen this time, and it was pretty big when it came down to the four being three black queens and one amazing queen, which is Trinity. But it was kind of cool. It was really cool to see that kind of like diversity in the finale. I was hoping Monet would win because it would actually break that weird pattern, but technically she did, and technically we still have our blonde white queen to like kind of make it all complete. It's very very weird. And another conspiracy theory is that I feel like if Manila stayed, she would have ended up being the winner. And I wonder, and another one is that I wonder if the fact that they were looking to have, if this is all scripted and if it's all like stuff like that, I wonder if they wanted Latrice and Manila to win as the top two and have them be the both winners kind of thing, and or just have Latrice or have Manila win, which is, I think either one would have been Latrice would have no matter either way, she would have went home because she didn't do a good job. And I think that Manila had slipped in that one thing, and that's all they were waiting for was a slip from her, and they got it. So yeah, but that's what I thought. I felt like there's a lot of wheels that weren't turning, and there's a lot of things that weren't fitting right, you know. But in all of it, I was glad that Monet won. I was glad that Trinity won, and I hope this. I'm very curious to see what they're gonna do with them. I have a thing where I don't keep track of people after they won. Like once they won, I was like, cool, whatever. Until I came across Aquaria, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna really see what you do. And she's done a great job. She's done Calvin Klein. She's done a lot of things like Versace and stuff like that. So she's doing a really good job with what she's doing with her win. So I'm curious to see what they're gonna do. And we already have the fucking next season 11 getting ready to be filmed or getting ready to release, and so Miss Vanjie's in it, so we're gonna see what happens. And I'll also have that one down with that one. God, it's gonna be a lot of new queens that have no idea who they are, but we're gonna see. So anyway, so that's it. So that is the RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars 4. We are finally done with it. We are now moving on to season 11, and I hope everybody has a great week. And I hope and leave a comment below. Tell me who you thought would have won, or how did you feel about the ending? Did you also agree with me that you felt like the split screen was kind of weird? And if you did like it, say so in the bottom. And then I'll see you guys in the next video.